Welcome to IAS with Arihant. A very important concept, a very important things to understand. To understand that we are here with IAS with Arihant to give you a glimpse of this book known as Prelims Possible, a series to make you capable of qualifying your prelims, not just for your prelims, not just for your UPSC, but for your state level exams. A very effective, efficient, well explained, 100% error free book in which there are chapter wise and topic wise bifurcations, chapter wise, topic wise bifurcations with the help of flow charts, topical mind maps, 100% error-free explanations, knowledge plus tip for your typical questions, and 45,000 plus PYQs bullets with your knowledge plus concepts. In a book, let me show you. There's a column in your explanation. This one, right? In which they have the author has kept knowledge plus. What is knowledge plus? Knowledge plus is an enhanced explanation related to that topic, to that question, which will enhance your in-depth knowledge for that specific question. So let's start. My name is Abhishek Mishra and you are with IAS with Arihant. We are doing moon and the artificial satellite. And the first question of this is, on the surface of the moon, two persons cannot listen to each other. When we are saying that two persons cannot listen to each other, it means I am talking about sound waves. And when we are talking about sound waves, it means what? When I'm talking about sound waves, it means what? It means it is very much clear that sound waves need a medium to propagate. A medium to propagate. And when there is no medium, there will be no propagation of sound. Hence, the two persons cannot listen to each other. There is no atmosphere on the moon. That is, there is a vacuum on the moon. No presence of air on the moon. And with no presence of air in the moon, it means there will be no propagation. When there will be no propagation, it means the person cannot listen to each other. The person cannot listen to each other. Clear, everyone? Because there is no medium, because there is a vacuum. And sound needs a medium to propagate. Sound needs a medium to propagate. Next question. The distance of the moon from the earth is exactly 3,64,000 kilometers. 364,000 kilometers. Exactly. Clear? The distance of the moon from the earth varies slightly due to the elliptical shape of the moon's orbit. The moon's orbit, that is the lunar orbit, we can say, the lunar orbit is elliptical in shape. Is elliptical in shape. Hence, we have two specific points on it. If at any specific point the earth is situated, that is earth is situated on any of the specific point, it means what? It means that there will be 2 points, one is nearer point and the one is farther point. The nearer point is known as perigee and the farther point is known as apogee. So the distance that is 3,64,000 kilometers is approximate, which is an average distance between perigee and apogee point with respect to the earth. This is the farthest point. Am I clear? Everyone clear? Unlike the fluid core of the earth, the core of the moon is, unlike the fluid core of the earth, the interior of the earth is fluid in nature. The core is fluid in nature. The core of the moon is plasma, volatile, viscous or solid. Just see to it, when I am talking about the core of the moon, the core of the moon is in the solid state. It is not plasma, it is not volatile, it is not viscous, rather than it is a solid core. Why solid core? Why? Because the atmospheric pressure is very less. Clear? Hence, right, and it is made up of lighter elements such as sulfur and carbon. The core of the moon has a radius of about 350 kilometers, which is about 20% of the moon's radius. It is divided into 2 parts, the inner core and the outer core. The inner core is solid and has a radius of about 250 kilometers. Why solid? Why? Because it consists of sulfur and carbon. With respect to moon, if we say of the earth, with respect to moon, if we see of the earth, the core of the earth has heavy material such as nickel and ferrous. Clear? It means it is solid in nature. Earth core is also classified into 2, inner core and outer core. Inner core and outer core. Outer core is what? Is made up of nickel and ferrous. It is a solid nature. Clear, everyone? Next question. The blue moon phenomena occurs when? See, this blue moon represents the concept of blue moons represents its beauty. Beauty of the moon is a condition of full moon, which normally occurs once in a month. But when in a normal calendar there will be a 2 moon, it's a condition of blue moon. Two full moon, it's a condition of blue moon. 2 full moons occur in the same month. 4 full moons appear in the consecutive months. The two full moons appear in the same month thrice in a calendar. None of the above. The answer is A. That is, blue moon is a term used to describe the occurrence of the full moons within a single calendar month, which is very much rare condition. The blue moon doesn't refer to the moon's color. It is more about an unusual occurrence of having two full moons in a short span of time. In a very short span of time, in a duration of 30 days, in a duration of a month, in a specific calendar, it is the full moon comes twice. Very rare condition. In which situation lunar eclipse occur? Half moon, new moon, full moon, or none of these. See, when I'm talking about lunar eclipse, it means the sun rays are not coming towards the moon is not visible from the earth. Why is it is not visible on the earth? Because the sun rays, which is the primary source, is coming to the moon. That is why the moon is visible. What happens when the sun, the earth and the moon, sun, earth and the moon lies in the same line, same linear line, and the sun's light is not coming to the moon, which is not reflected back to the earth. Hence, the moon is not visible from the earth. It is a condition of lunar eclipse. Actually, eclipse or a grahan means the portion is invisible. Portion is not visible. Why not visible? Why? Because the sun rays are not reflected back from the moon towards the earth. This is known as, what happens when the sun rays are not coming to the earth. What happens then? It is a condition. It is a condition of solar eclipse. Of solar eclipse. Am I clear, everyone? So let's see the question. In which situation lunar eclipse occurs? Half moon? No. New moon? No. None of these? No. The answer is always full moon. Always a full moon. Condition of always a full moon. Clear? Earth comes directly between the sun and the moon, casting the shadow on the moon's surface. The earth's shadow causes the moon to darken and sometimes take on the reddish tint known as blood moon. Lunar eclipse is caused when? The question asked in MPPSC Prelims 1994, Uttarakhand Lower 2010. Moon comes in between. Lunar eclipse is caused when? Lunar eclipse is caused when? Okay, is caused when? When moon comes in between the earth and the sun? No. Earth comes between sun and the moon? Yes. When the sun rays of the sun is not coming to the moon just because of earth. It is what? It is a lunar eclipse. What happens when the sun rays is not coming towards the earth? It is known as solar eclipse. Known as solar eclipse. Am I clear, everyone? Next question. Just see the explanation. What is it is saying? During a lunar eclipse, the Earth passes between the Sun and the Moon, casting its shadow on the Moon's surface. This occurs when the Earth is positioned in a way that blocks the distance direct sunlight from reaching the Moon, causing the Moon to temporarily darken. The portion of the Moon which is in the front of the Earth and the Sun becomes completely darker, and it occurs only in the condition of full moon. It occurs only in at the condition of full moon, known as, clear everyone? Yes. Indian satellite series, INSAT is an example of military satellite, polar orbiting satellite, meteorological satellite, or resource satellite. Indian satellite INSAT, just told you yesterday, INSAT is a Indian satellite series. INSAT is what? Is a military satellite, is a polar orbiting satellite, is a meteorological satellite, or a resource satellite. Talking about INSAT, it is what? INSAT is used for meteorological purposes. What is meteorological purposes? Means it is a weather satellite. It is a weather satellite, also known as remote sensing satellite. What is remote sensing satellite? Remote means far, distant. A location sensed from the distant location is known as remote sensing satellite. Am I clear? Which was launched by ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, to meet the requirements of the telecommunication, broadcasting, meteorology, and search and rescue needs of India. Next question. Why one is likely to see a larger number of lunar eclipses from a given place on the Earth than the solar eclipse? Question asked in UPPSC Prelims 2011. Just see the question. Why one is likely to see a large number of lunar eclipses from a given place of the Earth than the solar eclipse? Options are: the number of lunar eclipses in the year is larger than the solar eclipse. All eclipses of the moon are visible throughout the hemisphere, while all the solar eclipses are not. Lunar eclipses are more published than the solar eclipses. And D, lunar eclipses are always complete, while the solar eclipses are usually partial. Why one is likely to see a larger number of lunar eclipses from a given face of the Earth? Clear? The answer is yes. The answer is all the eclipses of the moon are visible throughout the hemisphere, while all the solar eclipses are not. What I'm saying, that all the eclipses of moon are visible throughout the hemisphere. They are visible throughout the hemisphere in both northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So the duration, changing the duration will not affect the lunar eclipse, and it is always in a complete hemisphere. Hence the number of lunar eclipse. Clear? Relative motion of the Earth and the Moon causes solar eclipse to be visible only within a strip of few degrees in a latitude, and total obsession lasts to no more than about 7 minutes. No more than about 7 minutes. Clear, everyone? Next question. Which of the following describes the geostationary orbit, GEO? Talking about geostationary orbit, what is it? Talking about geostationary orbit, when talking about GEO, it is exactly at a height of 3,000 586 kilometers. What is it? See, if we are seeing, if we calculate according to a distance, according to the altitude, this is the earth level, and according to the altitude, to the height of 200 kilometers, it is near Earth orbit. It is NEO, or a near Earth orbit. From 200 to 2000 is LEO, low Earth orbit. Is low Earth orbit. From 2000 clear, is, yes, it is approximately to the level of 1000. Clear? 1000 to 2000 is MEO, medium Earth orbit, and below 2000 to 20,000, okay, 2000 to 20,000 is MEO, medium Earth orbit, and above, to the height of 36,000 kilometers is geosynchronous orbit. To the height of between 20,000 to 36,000 is what? Is a GSO, means geosynchronous orbit. It's geosynchronous orbit. And then GSO, geosynchronous orbit, what does this mean? It has a specific, at a height that is 35786, which is geosynchronous, geostationary orbit. Geostationary orbit, GEO. Clear? And the question was asked, geostationary orbit, altitude of 2000 kilometer above sea level, and the orbit of altitude of 36,000 level, 24 hours, right? The answer is approximately this, but the exact answer is 35786, because talking about geostationary, it has a fixed height. It has a fixed height of 35,786. Sorry, 35,786 is 35786. It is a fixed orbit, and which is variable is a geostationary orbit, or is a geosynchronous orbit. Am I clear? The orbital period is 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4 seconds. Am I clear? So, yes. Consider following statement. The speed of a telecommunication satellite relative to Earth is 0. Hence, it appears to a person on the Earth. Select the answer given. It was asked in MPPSC Prelims 2020. Both the statements are false. Statement 1 is true and the reasons are suggested is true. Statement 1 is true. Statement 1 is not the reason of the statement 2. Statement 1 is not true, but statement 2 is false. The speed of a telecommunication satellite relative to Earth is 0. Hence, it appears to be stationary to a person on the Earth. Am I clear? What's the answer? See, statement 1 is true and statement 1 is the reason of a statement 2. Yes, the speed of telecommunication satellite related to the earth is 0. That is why it appears to be stationary to a person on the earth. Why? Why? Because the orbital period, the rotational period of the earth with respect to the sun, with respect to the satellite is stationary, is fixed, and that is at 35,786 kilometers. That is why it looks like it is fixed. There will be no change. A country, by sending its cellological and engineering explorer in the orbit of the moon, becomes the first country in Asia. The country which achieved this fame is achieved this fame is right. The country which achieved this fame is Japan. Cellological and engineering explorer. Cellological and engineering explorer. Japan is the first country in Asia to send cellological and engineering explorer Selene in the orbit of the moon. It is also known as the Kaguya in the orbiter spacecraft sent to the moon by the Japan on 14th September 2007. Clear? Next question. Assertion A. Question asked in IAS Prelims 2002. Assertion A. Artificial satellites are always launched from the Earth in the eastward direction. Reason A. The Earth rotates from west to east, and so the satellite attains the escape velocity. Both A and R are true and is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. Artificial satellites are always launched from the Earth in the eastward direction. In the eastward direction, yes, the Earth rotates from west to east, and so the satellite attains the escape velocity. Exactly. It's the best explanation of yes. Okay. Only one side of the moon's surface visible from the Earth. Reason: the period of the rotation of the moon on its axis is equal to the period of its revolution around the Earth. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not a correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. What is saying? Only one side of moon surface is visible from the Earth. The period of rotation of the moon on its axis is equal to the period of its revolution around the Earth. Both A and R are a correct explanation of A. Correct. Why? Because the period of the rotation of the moon on this axis is equal to the period of its revolution around the Earth. The rotation and revolution is equal. Clear, everyone? Yes. The same phase of the moon always faces the Earth. Reason: the moon completes one rotation around its own axis in 23.5 days, which is about the same time, and it sticks to the orbit of the sun, of the earth. IAS Prelims 2005. The same phase of the moon always faces the earth. The moon completes one rotation around its own axis in 23.5 days, which is about the same time and that it takes to orbit the earth. Clear, everyone? The answer is B. What does this say? That A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Correct. The same phase of the moon always faces the earth. The dark surface is known as South Pole, which is not visible. And on this South Pole, India landed its satellite on 14th June 2023. 14 July 2023, Chandrayaan-3 mission. The moon completes one rotation about its own axis in 23.5 days, which is about the same time that it will orbit the earth. Both are right, but having the same period, no. Right? The moon's period of rotation is about 23.3 days, not 23.5 days. No, it's 23.3 days, not 23.5 days. Clear, everyone? So, yes. Now, the second topic, the next topic, that is asteroid. What is asteroid? Talking about asteroid, it is a gap between, asteroid is an asteroid gas between the Mars and the Jupiter orbits filled with asteroids. Asteroid means rocks. The broken rocks, right, are asteroids. Visible only with, they are only visible with large telescopes, and they are made up of metal and rocks. They are solid and stable surface and follow highly elliptical orbit. Why? Because they are in the same elliptical orbit that is of a planet. The asteroids. What are meteoroids? The largest asteroid is Ceres, which is approximately 1,000 kilometers in diameter. What is meteors? It is a very small stone-like object around the sun, also known as shooting star. Meteoroids or shooting star or shooting star. Clear? Everyone? What is meteoroids? Large meteors that reach on the earth is meteoroids. Meteors and meteoroids. Large craters on the earth like meteor crater, which is in Arizona, Lunar Lake, Maharashtra. They are all known as crater lakes generated by the meteors, the meteoroids. What is comets then? They are highly elliptical, unstable and chargeable orbits and changeable orbits. Composition is, yes, they are made up of ice, they are made up of dust, they are made up of rocks. Ice, dust and rocks. For example, Halley's comet. Halley's comet is visible every 76 years. Right? And the tail of the comet is always facing the sun, because it's a part of a fragments derived from the sun particle. It is known as comet. Question. Which of the following does not belong to the solar system? Asteroid, comet, planet, nebula. Which of the following does not belong to the solar system? Asteroid, comet, planets, nebula. The answer is yes. The answer is nebula. Nebula does not belong to the solar system. It is a concept. Nebula means cloud of dust, cloud of gases. Clear? So it is not a part of it. It does not belong to the solar system. It can be anywhere. Anywhere where there is a presence of a cloud of dust is known as nebula. The answer is yes. The answer is nebula. D. As in BPSC Prelims 2011. The asteroids are small celestial bodies in the solar system which are found between the planets. Mercury and Venus, Mars and Jupiter, Jupiter and Saturn, Neptune and Saturn. The asteroids are small celestial bodies in the solar system which are found between the planets. Asteroids are small celestial bodies in the solar system which are found between the planets. Mercury and Venus, Mars and Jupiter, Jupiter and Saturn, Neptune and Saturn. No, it is Mars and Jupiter, known as asteroid belt. The tail of a comet is slightly away from the sun because as the comet rotates around the sun, the lighter mass of the comet is pushed away to the centrifugal force. As the comet rotates, the lighter mass of the comet is attracted by some stars situated in the direction of its tail. The radiation emitted by the sun exerts a radial pressure on the comet, throwing its tail away from the sun. And D, the tail of the comet always exists in the same orientation. Clear? See, what is this? The answer is because the radiation emits by the sun exert a radial pressure on the comet, throwing its tail away from the sun. Am I clear? It's just look like that is the part of a sun which has been thrown out because of the radiation emitted by the sun. We can have a one knowledge plus. The comet tails can be different of colors depending on the composition of the dust and the gas in the tail. For example, dust tails are typically white or yellow, while iron tails are typically blue or green. Next question. The group of small pieces of rocks revolving around the sun between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter are known as asteroids. The small pieces are known as meteors, and the big pieces are known as meteoroids. Clear? Next question. Consider following statements regarding asteroids. Asteroids are rocky debris of varying sizes orbiting the sun. Most of the asteroids are small, but some have diameters as large as 1,000 kilometers. The orbit of the asteroid lies between the orbits of the Jupiter and Saturn. Select the correct answer by using the codes given below: 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, all of the 3. So answer is A. That is, statement 1 and 2 are correct regarding asteroids. They're what? They are rocky debris of varying sizes orbiting the sun, mostly in the region of called asteroid belt. But same have diameter as large as 1,000 kilometers, such as Sirius and others. Next question. Meteors are fast-moving stars, piece of matter which has entered the Earth's atmosphere from the outer space, part of stellar system, or Terry's comet. It is a meteor is a piece of matter which has entered the Earth's atmosphere from the outer space. It is a meteoroid or particle broken off an asteroid or a comet orbiting the sun that burns up it enters the Earth's atmosphere, creating the effect of a shooting star. Meteors are also known as shooting star. Okay, so this was all from my side for today. Okay, we are at Prelims Possible IAS with Arihant, powered by Arihant, which have various books as Indian history, geography, Indian polity, Indian economy, and general sciences. Am I clear, everyone? Which has 100% error-free detailed explanations, knowledge plus typical questions, MCQs, bullets, revisions for bullets, and the free chapter package. So, for today, I'm signing off. Tomorrow, we will again meet at the same time at 1 p.m. Till then, take care. Bye.